Warning. The following video is part of a series that is for educational purposes only. Please do not enter the deep web unless you know what you're doing.
What is poppin', guys? Welcome back to a brand new deep web video. Now in this video we're gonna talk about 3 things that you actually should stay away from on the dark web. Now the things that we're gonna talk about today are actually red rooms, drugs marketplaces, and certain forums. Now the thing is that you can actually combine like red rooms and forums to a certain extent. We're gonna get on that later on in the video. So the first thing is actually red rooms. We're gonna go to a computer for a second and we're gonna talk about it, and we're not gonna look for a red room because 9 out of 10 you didn't invite and all that. So a red room is basically a screwed up version of Twitch. It's a live stream where people are getting, I don't know, tortured or whatever. Marketplaces as well are equal as bad as red rooms, because let's say you order a kid from the dark web and all of a sudden your son gets kidnapped. You can actually compare it that way, but I'm just joking. But the thing is, like, red rooms are actually live streams on the dark web where people are first kidnapped. I don't know really how it works and where they get those people from, but the thing is that they are just live streaming somebody, I don't know, sitting in a chair or laying in a room, whatever, and people can actually tune in into a live chat. People that are donating the highest can tell the people who are running the live stream what to do with that person. Like, for example, oh, I donated $5, please give him a fortune cookie, to a certain extent. But in fact, it is way more messed up. For example, if somebody donates 1 Bitcoin, which is thousands of dollars, and you can say like, all right, punch him in the face, whatever. So that is basically one thing that we're going to talk about also today in depth. The second one is like the deep marketplace when it comes to drugs or anything like marijuana, speed, crystal meth. I think they have hundreds of thousands of substances on that site for sale, and there are a dozen of these markets on the deep web actually. Now the third one is forums, and I can already hear you guys saying like, Alex, what does that have to do with red rooms? Now a lot of people on forums are 9 out of 10 also asking for links like, yo, can you redirect me to messed up version of Twitch, if you guys know what I'm trying to say, you know, or anything like that. And always people always respond like you need an invite for that. You cannot just stumble upon a red room because that's like really hard to find, and it's not like redroom.onion. It's not even working. That's not something that should. It's like a really complicated URL, like all the deep web websites. Those are basically 3 things we're gonna discuss in today's video. So let's go to the computer and let's look a little bit more in detail. All right, guys. So as you can see, oh shit, OBS is not running. Oh, for sakes. Alright guys, so as you can see right now, we are on the Tor browser. Just opened it, not really went to any website yet. So the first thing that we're gonna see is looking into like some information about red rooms, right? So if I go to, if I, for example, type in red room dark web, we're gonna actually see, and we'll be redirected through DuckDuckGo, obviously, which you guys know by now is like the Google of the dark web. Right here, the first one says red room deep web complete guide links / how to access. Right here it says, what is a red room? Okay, so I think this is a screenshot from an actual red room. Okay, so right here it gives us a bunch of information. For example, like, welcome you. If you came here, that means that you, like we, are a connoisseur of this wonderful genres as snaf, death, gore, cry, necro, penalty, whatever. Be warned, if onlookers and fans, we have no place, we won't tolerate them. To access our private collection can afford not everyone, but those who want to join us will have access not only to the collection of private material, but will be notified about the online bullying broadcasts of executions and much more. This is already the beginning, guys. I mean, as mentioned above, to get to us, not everyone can because it is an expensive thing, but if you are not confused, then read below to do it. Free for access us is 0.0188 Bitcoin, which should be sent to whatever this Bitcoin address. Send us a message in which you specify only the address from which you paid for access. If you did everything correctly, we will send you instructions for further action. Once again, remind you need to send only the address without any characters, and so can specify what you want. We do not answer any other letters, and everyone else will ask to leave. I will put it as simply as possible. A live video stream streaming website on the Tor-hidden network, deep web, which streams live violence, rape, murder, and other such kinds of negative videos for entertainment of others. It's not free service instead of a highly expensive one, and at times also let the users type in commands or suggestions to play out for them. So let's calculate what the first fee was. So I think 0.0188 Bitcoin. Let's see how much that is in US dollars. Okay, so only to get an invite, I think that's $132. So I don't really know how it works, because I think that's a reasonable price, because I've read somewhere like years ago on the dark web that people would ask thousands for you to deposit to them in order to be able to, you know, get that invite. So in other words, we can call it an exclusive video portal for anything and everything which you won't find on the ClearNet, specifically violence and pain inflicting live videos. So this is actually something different than, for example, like Best Gore or any of these shock websites on the regular internet. You know, that's nothing compared to what a red room is. But like I've mentioned, guys, a red room is not just, for example, like twitch.tv and you're on the site and you can watch whatever you want. You really have to get an invite. You have to pay $130 first. A lot of people say like red rooms are fake, because let's say that you are into that stuff, you would like to get on it, you send the money and you don't know who you're sending the money to, because it's a completely different and like anonymous Bitcoin address. You don't really know what's gonna happen. Are you like just getting scammed or getting like a regular link to one of these red rooms? It is just a really, really gray field when it comes to what is trustable and is it like a hoax or anything like that. And I think at some point, because there's also drugs available on the dark web, weapons, I think to some extent red rooms may be real, but I don't really think that you can find them that easily, because we just Googled or like DuckDuckGo'd for like 2 minutes, not even, and we found like a legit screenshot of a friggin' red room where you can send money to and you eventually get access. That's basically it when it comes to red rooms. I'm not gonna join any of these because I don't want to be mentally traumatized forever. But the next thing, guys, you also stay away from are obviously those dark web marketplaces. And of course, I've been on these marketplaces like 1,000 times over the past years to see what's on it, what do they sell actually there. It's just something you should stay away from, because here's another thing, guys. After about 4 years of making deep web videos, until this very day, people watch a video from like 2016 and they message me on Facebook, Instagram DM, whatever it is, every single day asking like, do I know a legit vendor for these websites, and what kind of seller on this specific market is real, and do I have like a link to a legit PayPal website where you can buy like hacked PayPal accounts, or where you can buy like credit card information. And that's just something I want to point out, guys. I'm just on the dark web for like educational purposes. Besides the recording, I'm never on the dark web. It's just something that interests me and that I would like to make videos about and make you guys aware of it, so you guys don't have to go on there yourself and stumble upon something you eventually don't want to see. So for everybody that's watching this, please save the time and don't message me on Facebook or Instagram DM about like PayPal accounts or how do you buy credit card information. I have no clue on which kind of, you know, dark web marketplaces are having legit vendors, whatever. I just look on the dark web, but that's just a side note. Okay, so the next thing you should stay away from is obviously deep web marketplaces, like I mentioned, because I think a few weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago actually, I went onto one market and I tried a Netflix account. I just purchased an account to see if it works. It didn't work, but the Spotify account I bought after that a couple of weeks later did actually work, in fact, but I think in about 3 or 4 days it stopped working because the user of that account, or the owner, has probably seen some like unauthorized access, changed the password, end of story. I was out. And I have my own Spotify, so there's not really like a reason to have another account. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so as you can see, we're on the Icarus markets, and I think this is just one of the other ones I have joined. You need to create a login. You have to register, you have to create an account. It's completely for free. Then you have to also select your currency, your personal phrase, your PIN code, whatever, your password, your username. You have to fill in the CAPTCHA, and then you can just create an account. And I think that this website works as all the the other markets out there. You create an account for free, but then you actually have to first send money from your Bitcoin wallet onto your account on this marketplace, and then you can pay for whatever goods you're buying, whether it's a Netflix account or Spotify or anything like that. So I would just stay away from these markets, not because there's like such as, you know, a lot of bad things on it, but just avoid getting scammed. Like if you're looking for something that's sold on the dark web on like one of these markets, try to go ahead and save that money and spend it on the real world, because I would actually pay twice as much. For example, Netflix, I would pay twice as much for being like sure I'm gonna get something in return for my money than paying half the amount and then not really too sure if I'm gonna be scammed, because that was $5 down the drain. I paid, you know, $10 a month on the legit Netflix, and I know that I have like a crap ton of movies to watch every single day, especially during this quarantine period of time. So marketplace, guys, it's not really that special, just like Amazon, but then instead of like a pair of headphones, but then you can buy 95% of pure cocaine. So the last topic that I talked about in the intro was the forums, obviously, and that was also linked to the red rooms, because a lot of forums or people are talking about, can you offer me a red room link or whatever. So this is basically a website that has a lot of deep web links on it itself. Right here it says House of Lions forums. Feel free to talk about anything and everything on this board. General discussions, security discussions, vendor discussions, product offers, anything like that. So if you have a question about like, Alex, can you give me a legit vendor for PayPal accounts? Please don't message me, but just go on to the House of Lions forums, because then people are more likely to provide you with like legit links and all that. So it's not clickable, so we actually have to manually select it and paste it into our browser. And let's go ahead and see on these forums what people are actually talking about, because I think this is a little bit different than like a chat room. I went on, I think about 2 weeks ago to see what people were talking about, but this is actually just a forum where people are creating threads if they have questions. And a lot of things as well on the deep web, guys, you need to have a lot of patience, because your IP is like not traceable or anything like that. Websites are taking so long to load because your IP address first goes to 7 or 8 different countries or whatever, and then back to you in order to be not traceable. So this can take a while. Right, guys, so my camera shut off because it was taking so long. So basically this is the flashlight website, an info beam in the dark web. So I think you kind of can compare this to, for example, like the New York Times, not necessarily a forum, but more like news articles, all that. So it's not really what we're looking for. And let's see if we can join any other forums. It's actually been literally 10 minutes since I have opened these links, and it just keeps and keeps loading. So I think you have to just look a little bit more further into like deep web links about forums, because a lot of times when you are on a website that's providing forum links, 9 out of 10 they will take such a long time to load, let alone replying to somebody on that website or refreshing the page. I have about 3 tabs open, and as you can see, they all keeps loading. One even gives me the 403 forbidden error. That basically means that I have to end off the video right here, guys. You guys know now what to stay away from on the deep web. It is actually pretty straightforward, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to reward it with a like down below. Subscribe if you're new as well, and if you would like to see more deep web content every single Monday on the channel. So that's it. Thanks a lot for the continued support, and I will see you guys obviously in tomorrow's video.